Welcome, everybody. We are back with a new episode of Marvel's Moon Knight, episode 4, The Tomb. Along to do this episode with me, as always, is Roy. Roy, welcome. It's great to have you again. Another week, same Moon Knight channel. Let's jump right into it because I think this is one of the episodes that just went right into the shits, right?
Picked up where the last one left off.
Yeah, didn't beat around, didn't try to, give us some extra story, just went right into it. So let's just jump right into it. How'd you feel about this one?
Well, surprising probably no one watching this. I enjoyed it a great deal. I thought that it was I think they played with a lot of different elements, and I think it told it really I think pushed where Moon Knight's going in a really interesting direction, and I think it's one of the best sort of fourth episode twist ones we've gotten.
Yeah,
probably since WandaVision.
WandaVision, yes. Was it WandaVision that had Pietro, X-Men's Pietro?
Well, no. The episode 4 twist for WandaVision was that they were outside. She gets kicked out at the.
Oh yeah. All right,
and then the next big twist is Pietro's back.
It's Pietro, right? Yeah. So, I'm with you. I think this was a good, pretty decent episode. Again, this was what I've noticed. A lot of these episodes further the plot. They don't waste time. They don't try to build, so where we would ask for some sort of backstory, they would build it right into the actual story itself. And I think one such example is the who killed my father reveal. Were you there? I was there, but then I also got shot. So it just built it right into the story, and I think that's one of the things I like about this show is it doesn't waste your time.
It definitely does not. I mean, that's definitely some complaints I think that some people have had, that it's been very a Moon Knight story on fast forward. Or at 1.5 speeds if you're listening to a podcast or something, which I can definitely see, but I've really enjoyed it. I think that it has allowed them to cram a lot of stuff into these 4 episodes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, and we're going to get a whole possible episode that's, spoilers, set at least partially in that sanitarium asylum that they're in at the end. Right. So they really needed to do that to have a successful season, and which I felt it has been so far.
Right. So I can agree with you right there. Again, if we talk about the acting, I think we've talked about Ethan Hawke. I think from episode 1, I think I'm an Ethan Hawke stan now at this point. I think he stole the show in this episode, even though Oscar Isaac as Steven, Steven was incredible. I thought, it's funny though. We know Steven to be a little more, shy, not, but he was a little different in this episode. And Oscar Isaac killed it, able to play a Steven that's a little more, okay, I'm not the same guy from episode 1. I'm not the same guy from episode 2. I'm a different person now. I liked seeing Steven in that manner.
Definitely. I think he's more in the element that they set him up for, which is the archaeology part. I think that's why he was able to grow and to become a fuller character. Right. And which I think was really good, right? He wasn't kind of comic reliefy, which he kind of was in sort of the first 2 episodes. He was as much a part of the adventure as Layla was, which I thought was, I think, a really good way to do that. Right.
Let's talk about their dynamic for a second, Layla and Steven. We caught Layla. It was Layla and Mark last week, right? And this week was Layla and Steven. What's your favorite coupling?
Well, I mean, I think I enjoyed both of their dynamics. I particularly enjoyed when Mark punches him after, which I thought was really a funny touch. I think
Yes,
I mean, she just has really good chemistry with Oscar
Oscar,
Isaac. So
right?
like, I'll ship either of them or both. I really don't know like how, I haven't read enough about dissociative identity disorder to know like what people in these situations are supposed to do.
Right.
But I think what's one of the more interesting things that I think they did in this episode with the Iconic story is like Steven's attraction to Lila being both related, I think, to how Mark feels, but also on
Mm-hmm.
its own terms, and they connect in like different ways. And I
Right.
think that's a like a really interesting dynamic, and it'll be interesting to see like if they resolve it, in this season.
I would love to see how they do that, though. I would really enjoy seeing that resolved. I think my thing is Steven being Mark's like honest side, the side that wants to tell the truth and the side that actually wants to show feelings and all that stuff. Because again, what I am getting, I- you know, I'm not too sure, but Mark may not have shown Layla a lot of like emotions or let himself go like that. But
Mm-hmm.
Steven is doing that, and it's kind of interesting. Even at the point where they kiss, at first I thought it was awkward, but then I'm like, okay, she's leaning into it,
Yeah, she's into it, right? Like, I mean, she
right?
tried to kiss him
She tried
first,
to kiss him
so
first, and then he told the truth, and you
yeah.
know, yeah. So it was definitely something very very interesting, and again, as you said, um, Stephen finding his own feelings for Layla. Again, also I think 100% rooted in Mark's feelings for Layla. I think it's, but in his own way. Um, however, I like their dynamic the best.
It makes
Stephen,
sense. Like, it's a fun
yeah,
dynamic. It's definitely
yeah, it is, it is.
um, I mean, probably. I mean, it's possible that going forward that we get both dynamics, right? I mean, she could
Hmm.
be in a relationship with both. I don't know. I want to be polite to people who actually
Right,
have
right,
this
right.
have this disorder, right? But both, personalities are altered
Yeah,
to whatever
both person. Yes.
I mean, that's a perfectly, interesting dynamic, right? I mean, I think
Hmm.
that's something them, Mark and Steven being more at peace with each other was also something I really liked in this episode, and is like
Yes.
really hammered home. Like where it was also present in the last, where one personality is very assertive, and this episode is
Hmm.
about them, but they play off in a productive way with one another. And I
Yes.
think it is really cool, and I think creates a kind of, I think, cool dynamic for Moon Knight. Excuse me. Should the character continue?
Right. I would love to see the character continue though. Moving forward. Um, so the adventure in itself, this episode is an adventure, kind of like almost the Indiana Jones. I that
Less
was the
cultural
vibe.
appropriating Indiana Jones.
Very, very less culture for it, but
Well, I mean, it's an Egyptian director, and Egyptian. One of the lead actors is Egyptian, and the composer
yeah.
is Egyptian. So,
Uh, most of
like
the most of the Egyptians are Egyptian. So
Egyptians. So,
yeah.
yeah.
So Khonshu was captured. And they are gung ho on finding Amit. Right. This is all
Mhm.
they're doing this without Khonshu, and knowing that anything can happen. So knowing that anything can happen, and you could actually die because you don't have any more healing, any more powers. Mark's thing is, yo, give me give me the body, and I will do what I have to do, and our deal still stands. I absolutely loved when Steven snitched
Yeah.
and dropped the deal, and she's like, really, don't I have a say? And you saw Steven look at it like, you know what,
Yeah.
we are doing this wrong.
Yeah.
um and I which is again why I like their dynamic a lot better. But the whole adventure going to find the tomb, I thought that was amazing. um the fight with the guard,
Oh, at the
you
beginning
know
of the
y-
episode,
no,
even a
no,
little.
the
The Mummy.
the mummy, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was well done. I didn't particularly like the opening action sequence very much.
Oh yeah, the opening action sequence. I
Didn't
didn't
really.
notice. I talk about it, but
Yeah. But yeah. No, the Mummy thing was very cool.
very cool and kind of scary. I think
Yeah, legitimately,
they,
like, I think pretty creepy. At the very least, creepy.
yeah, they turned the creep. Because again, mummies should have some sort of fear factor in it, right? So they did that. This series should have a little fear factor, and I think they did that really well. Especially the dark caves when she was on the ledge. I thought that
Excuse
was
me.
really well done. Um, her fighting the mummy, killing the mummy was kind of cool.
It was very cool.
Um,
I thought that whole sequence was like a well done sort of like TV-14 horror sequence, right? Like,
right,
and particularly the
right,
time when it grabs her and
hmm
then she escapes a little bit and it grabs her back.
and
That was
grabs her back. Yeah,
legitimately like, I was like, okay, that's actually kind of scary. Like, it's
yeah,
not like, oh my
yeah.
god, I'm gonna scream like
Because I'm
Saw. Oh
like,
my god,
is
but
she gonna make it? Like, is she gonna be like? Is she gonna get in tune to something? Yeah, something. I honestly didn't think she was coming back out, which was my thoughts in the moment. Right, like, she's not
I
coming
thought she
back
was gonna
out.
get pulled into it and there'd be like more mummies or like
Yes,
yeah, like I didn't think she was gonna die, but I definitely thought it's like, oh, she's gonna get like pulled into like the mummy room and Mark or slash Steven is gonna have to like come
he's gonna
find her or
save her.
something. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
that's what I thought it was. I thought it was gonna be one of those things where she's probably in a sarcophagus or a coffin or something. I
Yeah.
thought I'm like, she's not coming out. Mark Steven's gonna have to go in, and Mark is gonna convince him, and he's gonna let the body go in. Boom, 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 fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I like that. I kind of like that they didn't do that.
Yeah.
She's very capable. She said she's very capable, and she showed that she's very capable in this episode. So I really enjoyed that they let the character do that, and they let Layla let her rescue herself in terms. Um, let me see what else. What else? What else? So oh,
The big scene with her and Ethan Hawke, right?
yes, yes. Again, Ethan Hawke just chewed all the scene. He
He
chewed
did,
this.
yeah.
He ate it. Like, he has been good.
Yes.
I think all the acting is good, but Ethan Hawke to me is just
I think he and Oscar Isaac both just bring it in every episode. And
yes,
he definitely
yes,
Ethan Hawke, plays two characters in this
yes. He
episode.
does. He does.
And I think he does a really good job of sort of contrasting them. Like they're
Hmm.
both kind of the same. Like he's good at he sells the twist, right? That this could be Steven slash Mark psychiatrist, right?
Hmm.
In that scene, like, and I think that that's really cool. And that scene, where he gives the big villain speech to the girlfriend, which you've seen
Yes.
many different versions of over many different versions, these kind of
Yeah.
things. Was really well executed, and I think
Yes,
it's
so well. Yes, so well.
sold. Like both actors sold it really well, but I think
Hmm.
Hawk did, like really
Yeah.
convincing.
So let's they have the conversation about, this is how your father died. I was there. This is who killed him. And Layla gets mad, obviously, because it seems like Steven brought, death to her father, pretty much, right?
Hmm.
Um, then the big scene to kind of end, to kind of cut the episode off right there. He shoots him.
Hmm.
He
Twice.
just straight up pops him in his chest. Is he dead?
I mean, he's not dead, but
No, but look, okay, for the sake.
I mean, the very end of the episode tells you that he's not dead. But you have to
Right,
Google. You have to Google. You have to do a quick Google
right.
search
If
to
you
find
haven't
it.
watched it, right.
Yeah.
But okay, real quick then. Let's talk about who shows up at the end of the episode.
Cool. Do you want to wait? Do you want to hear my crazy theory, which I hope isn't
Yes,
true, about
that's
so that there is no Bushman, that
whoa.
that is Jake that killed her dad, so that his partner is his third personality, and so that's part of what they're going to reveal in the next episode, because I'm assuming there's going to be like flashbacks and working through Marks. This is just me theorizing. There's no
Shit,
spoilers. Like, that's something I was thinking about. I was like, what if his
shit.
partner is himself, or he think
Hmm.
Mark doesn't realize that it's himself, but he thinks that.
That's a really good one. That's a really good one. That's way better than Mephisto showing up. But that's a really good one, because the possibility of that one, I like it's I'll say maybe like a 45%.
Because it's Jake in that third
It's
coffin.
yeah, there's
Or the
Jake.
second
Yeah,
coffin. Yeah. So, like, it has to be. Like, because they keep, like, smack you in the face that there's another personality.
yeah, that there's another personality. Because again, the recap, right, shows the scene of, you know, the opening scene from last episode, the roof scene where he stabs the kid, and he goes, Steven, what did you do? Obviously Steven isn't stabbing anybody.
Yeah.
And he didn't stab him, so somebody had to do it.
Somebody had to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not Khonshu, because the only
Khonshu
cannot physically.
I don't think he really takes over Mark.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah,
he just he's just like, okay, I'm just gonna use your body for what I need, and the trade-off is a suit. So yeah, so that theory I 100% want to believe is true. Given what we know about Disney Marvel shows, I'm just gonna hold off on
I don't think they'll do that, but yeah, it's a possibility.
It'll be so good if they do that, though, because then now what would Layla do?
Yeah, because Mark didn't do it, but he did do it.
Right. And is she like crushing on Steven?
No, definitely she's crushing on Steven. Like
so now what will Layla do, knowing that the person who killed her father is the third person in the room?
Yeah.
So what do we do?
There's a lot of room for insane drama. You know, I think it's like 40% I think is a decent
it's a good number.
Like, it's a good guess. This thing I think it wouldn't be. It's not like those people who are gonna. There's some people who theorize it's like actually the the insane asylum is real, and everything else is fake. And I'm like, and it's gonna come out that Mark was in the insane asylum the whole time, and it's gonna end with him coming out of the insane asylum. And I'm like,
I mean, if you read
yeah,
it's a possibility, but no, I don't think they're gonna.
I mean, not again with the specific note where it ended. Where if you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Mo.
Cut you off.
Oh no! I was just gonna say, we're literally the Egyptian goddess of rebirth.
Yes,
shows up at the end of the episode.
Like that is the
okay.
Yeah. So literally, that's the dream sequence, and they're coming back. So, but yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about actually. So you brought that up. They're not dead.
They're not dead.
They're not dead. Oh man, they're not dead. So
I wonder what the Google's algorithm spiked. It's like hippopotamus headed Egyptian god. Like that's what I did. I was like, who? It's like, oh, it's Tawet. I think is a Tawet, and the goddess of rebirth. So
that's gonna be fun. I think that episode ends to give us it ends in a way that I think the next episode is going to be super fun. This was a little dark. This was a little more serious. Granted there was a levity in it, but this was a little more serious. I think next episode is going to be a little more fun. A little lighter.
I actually think it's quite the opposite. I think it's going to be fun because you'll have both Mark and Steven playing off each other, and Oscar Isaac acting with the one actor he's always wanted to work with, to quote Paul Bettany, is that how you say the guy who played Vision's name?
Yeah.
But I mean, they cast Mark's parents. They were at the premiere, so we know that they're in the series, and so there's gonna be something had to cause him to have dissociative identity disorder, and in real life, it's frequently childhood trauma, right? So.
So you think we get a flashback? Ish, because we've been talking about getting a flashback episode. I feel like every episode we do, we go, we're gonna get a flashback next week.
Yeah, well, we're literally in the afterlife, or in the they mention what I also liked about this episode is in the first one, right? That little ghost child says to Steven, how does it feel to not be able to go to the afterlife,
right?
And disappears, right? And Mark/Steven are in between realities, or in between life and death, right? So this is the plot has given them an opportunity in which shows do this all the time, right? Like I imagine that's the trope they're going to go for, but I could be wrong. We've had both, as you're right, you point out, we've said them through flashbacks
we've literally called a flashback episode the next. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
great. We're gonna get the flashback. This is how he dies. And it's been every episode has been no, but to be fair, every time that we've said we're gonna get a flashback, they have said or they have touched on what we've asked for. So this episode we said we're probably gonna get Mark's death or some showing of Mark's death, and while we didn't see it, they talked about it. I'll take that. That's a win for me. You know,
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Right. But no, I am liking where they're going with it. I am literally leaving my mind open to enjoying everything. I want to theorize so bad. But I'm like, you know what? No, seriously, WandaVision had me scarred. So I'm not gonna.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I mean, not good.
I mean, this week, I don't know. Did you do? I haven't looked at the YouTube channel. Have you done the trailer reaction yet?
I'm not doing it.
That the internet was set afire on the links between this show and possibly Thor.
Oh yeah. I just watched the trailer. Listen, because so Marvel has killed me twice, right? WandaVision and then literally Infinity War. The Hulk scene in the Wakanda scene in Infinity War. Just
you mean when they tricked you?
Oh my gosh. And I was like, yes, we're gonna get everybody running in Wakanda to go fight Thanos, right? No, that's not how it went.
It went better than that. So.
Yes, but so the theories for Infinity War, everything failed. The theories for WandaVision, everything failed. Oh, yeah. So I'm just not doing it anymore. I'm just not. I'm like, I'm just gonna watch it.
Christian Bale's gonna be the post credit sequence, like killing one of the Egyptian gods, which is what I have seen theorized.
If it happens, I'll enjoy it. That's all I'm gonna say. Because while I do want it to happen, just so I get something, I'm excited for Love and Thunder. I think I just want to watch the show because, and the reason I'm saying that is not to like if you want to theorize, please go ahead. I think I killed my enjoyment for WandaVision just a little because of that. And I'm not gonna do that again. They've shown that they know what they're doing. They know where they want to go with their shows. I'm just gonna trust them, and I'm just gonna watch it and enjoy it. So that's my take on Marvel shows right now. Maybe I could theorize on DC shows because they don't know what they're doing. So,
I mean,
I'll theorize all day on DC shows.
For me, I learned a similar lesson in WandaVision was to never put your theory in front of like what they give you on screen. Right, like it's one thing. Like I have all kinds of like crazy theories or things I would love to see, but like you got to come to terms with what's on the screen. You can say, you know what, that's changed my MCU fandom, or I don't like this character anymore, or the show, or whatever. But like you can't be like, it should have been this other thing, or
no. See, then you kind of kill your enjoyment of it.
Yeah, you do, or it's okay, or you like to me, it also makes your lack of enjoyment not about what they gave you, but what about what they didn't give you.
Now you're like, why didn't this happen? This should have happened, and then you're going back and forth. No, just enjoy the show. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Netflix is having a bad week though. Yeah. And I was gonna make a dig at the reason why they were having a bad week. Ever since they got Zack Snyder, everything's gone to shit. But that's that for that. No, but back to Moon Knight.
I thought it was because they didn't have the Defender shows anymore, to prop up their rating.
I don't think so. I think 100%. But let's look at it, right? They got Zack. They did the zombie movie. I guess it did numbers. They did the Thief movie, did numbers. And his movies are not small scale. None of those movies were small scale. They look like at least $100 million budget movies. And so...
Yeah, well, they also still have that contract with D&D. We talked about that, I think, last week on this show. And the thing about Netflix, though, is, and we definitely should go back to Moon Knight, but it was going to definitely get me to watch more Disney Plus. Like when they said that, well, we're going to cut back on content, I was like, Netflix has already cut back on shows don't make it past their second season.
Yes.
Why would I be in bed? Like, honest to goodness, like Netflix, occasionally they'll have like decent movies to watch, or like every once in a while there'll be a good show. But like most of the time, the Netflix stuff, like why get invested in it if it's gonna have like The Society is an example of this, right? Which was a really fun show that was like, you know, Flash, CW level, where you clearly didn't have like a huge budget, didn't have like a lot of famous actors, so they could have just kept doing it, and people enjoyed it, and it got solid but not spectacular ratings, right? They set up the second season. They could have done a third season. The ratings were as good as far as we can tell from the first season, but they cut it for money.
You're like, talking about what's his name's comic, right?
The Society. No. It's the one that's about college where they're like wizards and werewolves.
Oh, yeah.
The show was really fun.
It was.
And they just canceled it. And it's just like, why? Like,
yeah. Like, matter of fact, they dropped the second season for the Pacific Rim show, right? I thought it was excellent.
I heard, yeah, you were talking about it in the chat.
It ends. It's the second season and it ends. I'm watching the show, analyzing it. I think, you know, it's 2 seasons was good enough, but you have to do something with that IP now. Like, you can't give us 2 really great, like, but knowing Netflix, that's it.
Yeah.
Back to Moon Knight.
Yeah, back to Moon Knight. But Disney's doing that. But Disney at least is not making any promises about.
Right, they're not.
Except for Loki.
Yes.
Which
right now
that's in production. Like that, it's not like a maybe in the future. It's like they've hired writers.
Right.
Hiddleston is
right
signed.
now. Yeah, right now Loki's the only Disney Marvel show that's gonna be, you know, like that has a second season, right? Moon Knight is a mini series.
They put it as an Emmy category for, but HBO did the same thing for that one about those ladies murdering that one person's husband, and they did 2 seasons of that.
They did 2 seasons, yeah.
So like, it's just whatever they think they can get,
right?
Like an award for, right? Like,
yeah, they did call that a mini series. HBO did. So I'm kind of upset if they really just leave it as a mini series. Then where does the character go after the first season? I think that's something we will eventually discuss. Seeing, you know, like at maybe episode 5, we might get a glimpse. You know, just the way the episode runs, we might get a glimpse into the future, and then we're gonna ask ourselves what happens to Moon Knight next. If you had to guess, what would happen to Moon Knight next?
He'll be in the Halloween special.
Okay,
that they're doing. That's what my guess would be, or maybe Blade.
I see Blade. Because again, I think nothing has happened in the Blade front. Have they started filming? No.
I think they have. Well, they have a writer, they have a director, they have a bunch of the cast. Like casting, like announcements get like small scale ones keep getting announced.
Right.
So,
right. Well, we know who Blade is, obviously.
Yeah.
So
they announced that before they knew like anything.
Yeah. I think he shows up in Blade, and I would like to see him in Blade. I would, but then I don't know if they would go that way. He could be in Thor.
I don't think Moon Knight will be in Thor, but I think they could throw some of the Egyptian gods under the gore bus. Like I don't think that
they're gonna give gore someone to kill.
I mean, like again, to go back to the trailer, like it's kind of clear who they're giving gore some people to kill.
Right.
Lightning bolts, right? I have a feeling that Pretty Olympus is not going to be pretty for very long.
Right.
But there could be additional like god, like you want to make him like. They might need some small god to get killed, right?
Right.
At the beginning.
Same reason why Adam Smasher isn't. I still can't believe you said that.
Yeah, I mean he's there in those fights, so.
Right. So I really want to see more. I want to see more of Oscar Isaac, right? I know Ethan Hawke is probably done here with this. Yeah, so but I want to see more of Oscar Isaac. I think that's the main draw for me. I don't think you cast some, but then again, Oscar Isaac is a huge movie star, right? And this is like TV, but this is like almost the same level as a movie, right?
And he got to be a producer and was heavily involved in like you know, there was a bit of a. I mean, based on all of his interviews and the fact that like where he's like all over the credits, that this was a passion project for him. Right. So that they brought him back with like that, and apparently he had a really good experience working with Marvel. They always say that, but unless they don't, that's when when they're just like neutral. Like the guy who directed Thor 2 was like, "Yes, I made this movie." Like you can tell he's not trying to come back.
Right.
But I mean, the question is, do they have the money to like
No
get
one
him
cares
to
about that movie anyway.
take him off his schedule?
Right. Right.
You know, he definitely probably doesn't want to get locked into another like Star Wars style shackles of like every year and a half you're going to be making a movie that gets progressively like worse for you, particularly. Like, I mean, so I'm sure he regrets. I mean, he says he regrets Star Wars.
So there is a chance we don't see Moon Knight and Oscar Isaac, or we don't see another TV version of this character. We see him sprinkled in movies somewhere. So again, as you said, you know, they could give him a 3-movie deal, right? And it's not going to be like a Star Wars year and a half thing. It's probably going to be spaced out into like multiple movies. You know, like say like an future Avengers movie or Dark Avengers movie if they do. Did I just say Dark Avengers? But yeah,
Thunderbolts or Midnight Suns or whatever.
So, man, but I would love to see Oscar Isaac a lot more.
What's interesting is I can more see them locking him into it, like not locking him, but him agreeing to do a TV show every once in a while, right? Every couple of years, come back and do another season of Moon Knight.
So Moon Knight takes like the Game of Thrones break.
Yeah, I mean, well, Disney's already they have. I mean, the second season of Loki is still not coming out until like 2024, maybe.
Right, and then
like maybe late 2023. So like, because they have Secret Invasion. So finished is Miss Marvel. She-Hulk is almost finished. They're doing the CG on it. Yeah. Then there's Secret Invasion. Then they just started filming Echo.
Right. Isn't Iron Wars?
Iron Wars is after Ironheart, which is about to start filming. Because it's going to have Rodney and I assume Ironheart. And then there's the second season of Loki. Then there's the Wakanda show that I imagine. If Black Panther 2 ever finishes filming, they will and is released, they will he'll take a break and jump into it. And then what other stuff have they announced? There's this Halloween special.
Yeah, and then there's a secret. What's her name? ScarJo is doing a secret Marvel project.
Yeah, that could be a movie or a TV show.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Disney Plus project.
Yeah, we don't know. She's doing a project, and it could be a Disney project, or it could be a Disney Marvel project, or who knows.
Yeah, so I would not be surprised if Miss Marvel is well received, that we get announced a second season of Miss Marvel.
Right.
Because I can see the character like appearing in the Marvels, but then like going back to TV. It's a great way for the actress to get more experience as well, since she's like younger. If she's going to be like in the Marvel universe for a while. I'm trying to think of what other I feel like I'm missing some live action stuff that they said for TV shows.
Okay, we got Secret. Yeah, we did get Secret Wars
or Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
Give me 1 second. Marvel. Okay. Come on, load. All right, so we've got She-Hulk, Echo. Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, which is currently filming. I Am Groot, Ironheart, Agatha. There we go,
Agatha, yeah.
A Marvel Zombies TV series, which I assume is going to be animated. Plus the Spider-Man. I mean, the animated stuff doesn't really count, but like, so you've got Armor Wars, Loki, Agatha, Ironheart, I Am Groot, Secret Invasion, Guardians Holiday Special, Echo, Wakanda, the Wakanda show, the Halloween special, She-Hulk. I mean, that's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of stuff. So yeah, they can space out a second season of Moon Knight.
Yeah,
so you don't have to like have him like right back. So yeah,
like when he's done making some weird independent film and wants to buy another yacht or whatever. It definitely sometimes feels like Robert Redford wanted to make sure his grandchildren will never work, so that's why he was in Winter Soldier.
That was why he was in Winter Soldier, because he had no business in that movie.
I mean, I enjoyed him. He was a good,
he was great, but
it's like, why are you doing this movie,
anybody? They could really cast anybody for that. But no. Thank you, Roy. So we enjoyed the episode. We're looking forward to seeing what they do next or where they go next. I'm very again very open minded. I have theories, but I'm not like not putting anything out. I don't want to disappoint myself, you know. Then because again, I watched WandaVision a second time, just binged it through, and I was like, this is decent. Like, so I said to myself, this is decent. But because I had theories and theories, okay, this is what's gonna happen. This, you know, and I was just so angry at them for not doing it. But it wasn't a horrible show.
I actually think that all of the Marvel shows binge well. I binged all of them at this point, I think now.
They do.
And over like holiday weekends and like flights and stuff, and they binge really well. And so sometimes the flaws that you noticed, I definitely found this in Falcon Winter Soldier, that I found it felt less like the gaps in characterization, particularly for the villain, did not feel as omnipresent when you were watching them, like boom, 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 boom.
Yes, and I think Netflix has been able to get away with that for so long because they just drop everything, and then you have to like, wait a minute, this sucks. Why did like, but yeah, so because of again, I've told myself, look, just watch the show and enjoy it, and don't try to theorize everything. Even though, like, I find myself googling Egyptian gods and every now and again just to know, just to find things out. But no, I am enjoying the show and I'm liking where they're going. Thank you very much, Roy. Again, it's been a pleasure doing the show with you. Can't wait to see you next week for episode 5. Again, for those that are watching, like and share, subscribe. Do your thing. If there are any questions you would like us to answer, drop them down in the comments and we'll check it out and we'll definitely get to it. Again, thank you very much, Roy. We'll see you next week for episode 5.
Same move.